What's up, everybody? This is Marshall, and welcome to the channel today. Today, I'm going to be talking about the 5 goals to achieve in your 40s. Now, why do I choose the 40s? These goals are great at any age, but 40s are the age when most people start getting serious about saving for their future, about retirement, about becoming financially independent. And so that's why we say 5 financial goals to achieve in your 40s. That's when people start getting serious. So let's jump right in and let's get to this. So the first goal you want to achieve is to save $1,000 in cash. Now you might be saying, wow, that's easy. I've got $1,000. But believe it or not, only 40% of Americans could come up with $1,000 in an emergency if they needed to. So if you're not part of that group, that's fantastic. Put $1,000 in a savings account, a money market account, and hold it there. So that's the first goal you want to achieve. Now, if you can't come up with $1,000 cash right now, you need to go sell something. That's the quickest way to come up with $1,000. So if you're in your 40s, you probably have a garage full of stuff. And so I would suggest getting busy and having a yard sale, doing something to sell something to come up with $1,000, because that's the first step. So that first step is going to put you in a new category, right? Only 40% of Americans could come up with $1,000. So if you can come up with $1,000, you're in a new category. So do it today. Get that happening. All right. So the second financial goal when you're in your 40s is to have no debt except for your home. So what do I mean by that? I mean no credit card debt, no student loan debt, no car loans, no loans to friends and family, none of that except for your mortgage, your personal residence. And so that is an important place to get to, because debt is bondage. It holds you down and keeps you from being able to save and give and do the things you want to do. So what I would suggest is a thing called the debt snowball. And what you do is you get a piece of paper out and you list your debts from the smallest to the largest. And so you just write them down. I would just, if you're a spreadsheet person, you could do that, but it's easier just to write them down, get organized, and then total that number up. In our experience, most people can get out of debt in 18 to 24 months, depending on how much debt they have. But believe it or not, the average American has $38,000 in debt, excluding their home. $38,000. So you've got to get serious about this, because you're in your 40s and you're getting closer to that retirement. You do not want to go into retirement with debt. Not a good idea. And so create the debt snowball, start working on this and get intense on this focus. And intense, I mean, not saving anything else, not investing anywhere else, focused on getting out of debt. And you can do it. And we'll have more videos to help you talk about getting out of debt. So that's number 2, right? Get out of debt. Number 3 is, once you're out of debt, except for your mortgage, number 3 is to save 3 to 6 months of expenses, right? That's called a fully funded emergency fund. And so what do we mean by monthly expenses? Well, monthly expenses includes everything it costs you to live. So what you need to do is create a budget and list the things. If you don't like the word budget, just create a list of things that you have to spend on each month. And that includes your mortgage or your rent, right? That's number 1. Utilities, electricity, internet, water, garbage, whatever that is, you got to list that as well. Then you start listing other things like food and clothes and gasoline and all those things. You have to get that on a list and figure out what that number is. And so let's say that your number's $4,000, right? What I see for most people, it's $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. From time to time, I run into clients that will have $10,000 a month in expenses. They have a big house and other things going on. But anyway, most people are in that $3,000 to $5,000. So let's say your $4,000 is your monthly expenses. 4 times 3 is 12. So your emergency fund should be $12,000 a minimum, $12,000 to $24,000. So that's an emergency fund. Now that money goes into a savings account, a money market account of some type, and you use that for emergencies. Now just imagine for a minute, just calm yourself for a moment and imagine that you have $12,000 to $24,000. Let's say $20,000 in cash in the bank, okay? You're starting to develop financial strength, stability. And so think about emergencies that could happen in your family. You need repairs on the car, the air conditioner goes out and it's a hot day, hot time of the year, you could come up with $5,000 if you need to. And so the emergency fund is critical because you never have to go to a credit card again. You never have to call a friend and borrow money again. It's a financial strength. And this is not my idea. This comes from the area of certified financial planning. It's just good financial principles. And so you're in your 40s, you're starting to get ready for retirement. Having an emergency fund is a wonderful, wonderful, powerful idea. And there again, that third step gets you into a new category. You're in a new class of people if you've got $1,000 in cash, no debts except for your mortgage, and you have 3 to 6 months of expenses saved in cash. So that's the third step. The fourth step is to be able to save 10 to 15% of your income. Now, when I say save, I'm talking about putting that into investments, because think about it. You've already got your emergency fund set up. You've got the cash set up and everything's working there. And so the 10 to 15% can go into investment accounts. And so we'll have other videos talking about investment accounts, but you think about a Roth account. You go there. You go into the 401k at your job, or a 403b, or a 457, depending on where you work. It could go into a regular investment account, a brokerage account. So there's a number of places that this 10 to 15% could go. So at that point, you're really starting to make progress towards a financial future that's powerful and freeing and gives you independence. When you're able to save 10 to 15%, that puts you in a whole new category of people. And so that is the fourth step, to be able to save 10 to 15% for your future. And like I say, some people call it retirement. I call it financial freedom. And so that's the fourth goal you want to get to. The fifth goal is to build wealth and grow, right? So the first four steps are just really fundamentals of getting yourself prepared. Fifth step of build wealth and grow is huge, right? Because at that point, you've gotten a lot of the basics out of the way. And so what I say by build wealth is these accounts start to grow. Part of the idea of building wealth is to educate yourself on how to invest, how to put money in the right place, how to work with advisors that are able to help you do the right thing and save and invest for the future. So the fifth one is a broad category. It's about paying off your mortgage, and it's about saving for education for your kids. There's a lot of pieces in this build wealth and grow, and we will get into that later. But let's get through the first four steps, get to the fifth, and then things really start to look beautiful. Anyway, those are the 5 financial goals to achieve in your 40s. And as you can tell, at any age, they're a great financial goal. Hope that's useful for you today. So I'll check in with you later. Thanks so much. Bye for now.